Welcome to today's custom-tailored deep dive into a pretty wild announcement. We are looking at the upcoming theatrical anime adaptation of Hiroya Oku's manga, GIGANT.
Yeah, it's definitely a wild one.
Right, so our mission today is to figure out how this seemingly absurd sci-fi spectacle about a giant adult video star actually hides, like, a super poignant commentary on modern society.
Because on paper, it really just sounds completely unhinged.
It really does. Okay, let's unpack this. You've got Ray, right, the cinema-obsessed teen, and he meets Papiko, an adult actress who somehow uses futuristic tech to grow to literally kaiju-sized proportions. I mean, it sounds exactly like a late-night internet surfing fever dream.
Oh, absolutely. Well, what's fascinating here is the creator, Hiroya Oku. If you know his work, you know he is the undisputed king of visually stunning but narratively unhinged stories.
Oh, yeah, the guy who did Gantz and Yoshiki.
Exactly. So you already know his signature style of survival horror and cybernetic chaos. Gigant, which ran in Big Comic Superior for a few years, fits perfectly into that surreal lineage.
Right.
He uses that exact same surreal, high-contrast visual shot value, but he points it inward this time.
But I look at the massive destruction, like a 100-foot-tall woman stomping on Tokyo, and part of me wants to push back. So what does this all mean?
It's a fair question for sure.
Like, is a giant woman fighting AI-driven threats just a massive visual gimmick to sell theater tickets? I mean, the sheer shock value of it.
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, her physical size is actually the mechanism for the commentary. Beneath the chaotic surface, the story bluntly tackles social media toxicity.
Oh, wow. How so?
Think about the invasiveness of celebrity culture. When Papiko becomes a giant, she becomes a literal, unavoidable target. She can't hide.
Because she's the size of a skyscraper.
Right. And every time she tries to help, she inadvertently causes collateral damage, and the public immediately turns on her online. It's a direct translation of how toxic the internet can be.
So when you reach a certain level of fame, your presence becomes so massive that even well-intentioned actions just crush the people around you.
Exactly. And the internet will broadcast every single misstep, which makes that tender, emotional core between her and Ray so important.
Because he's devoted to her. He sees her, not just the spectacle.
Yeah, but they are trying to maintain a private connection when she is quite literally a public monument being attacked by the masses. The world is trying to tear them down long before the AI threats even show up.
So the monsters are really just physical manifestations of the hostility she already faces.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, here's where it gets really interesting, because telling a story about that crushing weight of public scrutiny requires a specific canvas. Traditional TV anime simply wouldn't cut it.
No, the scale of the story is just too massive for a standard TV budget. Oku pioneered the use of 3D digital photorealistic backgrounds in his manga.
It's like dropping a brightly painted cartoon character into a high-definition photograph of a real war zone. The contrast makes her feel completely alienated from her environment.
And a theatrical feature provides the massive budget needed to actually capture that. You need horsepower to render a sprawling, hyper-detailed cityscape in fluid motion.
So you really feel the gritty texture of the concrete she's crushing.
Right. The photorealism of those 3D backgrounds grounds the absurdity. It forces you to look at this surreal giant woman and realize the world she's destroying and trying to save is uncomfortably close to our own reality.
Which is why, for you, the listener, it pays to look closer when encountering wildly eccentric pop culture. It often reflects the fragility of our own modern world.
Yeah, the threat of exposure, the lack of privacy, it's all materialized into physical mass.
Exactly. Gigant makes physical size a literal metaphor for fame and responsibility. So I want to leave you with this thought to chew on. If future technology allowed us to physically embody the massive, monstrous scale of our digital footprints, would we use that presence to protect our world, or would we inadvertently crush it under our own weight?